Hi, I'm Peter Wooding. In this week's Christian Weekly News, we have the latest on a case supported by the Christian Legal Centre of a children's worker who went to the Court of Appeal after refusing to work on a Sunday and consequently lost her job. We have an update on the story of gay pressure group Stonewall, who ignored a High Court ruling by displaying bus adverts. And we're joined by Peter Jones from TruthXchange, who talks about the challenges of holding on to a true biblical worldview in a changing culture. A case supported by the Christian Legal Centre got considerable media coverage this week when Christian children's worker Celestina Umber took the Mayor and the London Borough of Merton to the Court of Appeal after they refused to provide considerable accommodation for her Christian beliefs after she lost her job for refusing to work on a Sunday. Here's what happened this week. A Christian children's worker sought a landmark ruling this week for the right not to work on a Sunday. Celestina Umber took the Mayor and the London Borough of Merton to the Court of Appeal over their refusal to provide reasonable accommodation for her devoutly held Christian beliefs. If successful, the case could be a benchmark for thousands of Christians in England now forced to work on Sundays if they're to keep their jobs.
If we win, the implications are I have a right, to practice my faith without anybody interrupting or saying to me I cannot practice my faith the way I ought to practice my faith. And also it will also encourage other Christians, to believe in their faith and stand up for what they believe in. If we lose, however, God gets the glory either way, so we're just bringing this, and it's the judgment, the true justice belongs to God, and it's only God that brings justice, so we just wait and see what the judgment is, and then find out what God has in plan for the next stage of it.
Celestina had been told earlier this year by an employment appeal tribunal that her employer was justified in refusing to permit her not to work on a Sunday. The judge said that Sunday was not a core component of the Christian faith because some Christians would be prepared to work on a Sunday, and therefore Christians as a whole do not need Sunday protected. This week's hearing sparked considerable media attention, and Celestina explains how she responded to being interviewed about the stand she's taken.
Several interviewers have asked me why wouldn't I work on a Sunday, and I clearly said to them I've got 6 days that I can empower the children. One day is the day that God replenishes me so that I can be of use to them. And it also enables me, to spend time with family and, brothers and sisters, and share the word and empower one another and pray with other people as well. So that day is Daddy's day. It's not about me not wanting to help the children because I've already spent 6 days that I'm willing to spend helping them.
Celestina believes it's important that many more Christians speak up for the right to live out their faith in all aspects of society without fear of reprisals.
Others that will stand up and be counted, because this is the time that we need to stand up and be counted as Christians. Because the Bible says to us when things get darker, we need to arise and shine. And this is the time that the children of God need to arise and shine, that we will impact the world and let them know that Jesus is indeed Lord over everything. And He is definitely coming back. It's not a myth, it's the truth. He is coming back. And the thing that we need to do is to get people ready for Him to come back.
Throughout her case, Celestina has received legal support from the Christian Legal Centre.
I think my champions at Christian Legal Centre, if it had not been for them, there wouldn't have been any way that I would have challenged this up to this time. But it's the support that they give legally, as well as all those people that have been supporting financially, and also those ones that have been supporting praying for the kingdom of God to be made manifest through Christian Legal Centre, that has kept me going.
In this week's hearing, the judges decided to reserve judgment for a later date, But Celestina believes whatever the outcome, it's given her the opportunity to highlight the importance of Christians making a stand for their beliefs.
The good thing that have come about it is that it's actually people being made aware how Christians are being marginalized in this country. And this is a Christian country. The other thing is that people are now checking themselves and see, what their faith is like. Are they on fire? Or do they need to get on fire? Are they arising? Or do they need to arise? So it's really impacting other people to stand up for what they believe in, and to impact the world for Jesus.
Gay pressure group Stonewall has ignored a recent ruling by the High Court by rerunning adverts on buses which violate Transport for London guidelines. Stonewall is displaying ads on buses which say some people are gay, get over it, despite a ruling by the High Court earlier this year which said that these posters violated TfL's guidelines. This is despite the fact that TfL refused to display adverts run by a Christian charity called Core Issues Trust that said, not gay, ex-gay, post-gay, proud, get over it. Here's the latest on that story. Gay pressure group Stonewall has ignored a recent ruling from the High Court by rerunning adverts on London buses which violate Transport for London guidelines. In March 2013, Mrs Justice Lang ruled that the adverts, which read, "Some people are gay, get over it," did not comply with TfL's own restrictions, which prohibit advertisements likely to cause widespread or serious offence. But earlier this week, we filmed buses displaying the Stonewall ads around Oxford Circus in London. Despite the judgment, Stonewall has arranged for the same adverts to appear on the side of London buses during the month of October. The adverts are also on buses in other parts of the country as part of a nationwide campaign. In April 2012, Core Issues Trust, a Christian charity, attempted to have an advert displayed in response to Stonewall's campaign. The proposed advert read, "Not gay, ex-gay, post-gay and proud, get over it." TfL refused to run the Core Issues Trust poster, but has now approved the Stonewall posters for the second time, even though the High Court's judgment said that the Stonewall adverts breached TfL's own guidelines. Core Issues Trust is now seeking an emergency judicial review of TfL's decision to allow Stonewall's adverts to be run. They'll be seeking an interim injunction and declaration that such adverts are unlawful. The Christian Legal Centre is supporting Core Issues Trust. Recently we took to the streets to get people's responses to both the Stonewall posters and the Core Issues Trust posters. Okay, so I'm going to show you two posters and I want you to see which of these you think was banned on London buses. Now this one says, "Some people are gay, get over it." And then this one says, "Not gay, ex-gay, post-gay and proud, get over it." Now, which of those do you think would have been banned from London buses by Boris Johnson?
I think probably this one, "Some people are gay, get over it."
Well, that was the one that wasn't banned. That was by Stonewall. And then some organisations tried to get this poster put on buses and it got banned.
I'd say put both of them on the buses, yeah, really, because it's not a bad thing. But the thing is though, it's not a bad thing if you're gay or not. Get over it, really.
So what are your thoughts on the fact that that one was banned?
I think it's actually saying everything, to be quite honest. Not gay, ex-gay. I think it's saying too much about being gay. Some people are not comfortable with the word gay alone. So I've seen the other poster before, so I know definitely it wasn't that one. I think sometimes people feel threatened by it. They don't like gay people in general.
I don't really see why it needs to be banned, to be honest. I don't see it's offensive to, really. There's nothing generally wrong with that poster. It's not much different from the other poster, the first poster you showed me. So I really don't think it should have been banned.
And what's your thoughts on the fact that this one wasn't allowed to go on London buses? Do you think it would be offensive to people?
I think it would, because it sort of makes the state of being gay a sort of temporary thing or something that you do as a lifestyle choice as opposed to something that you are. It sort of pigeonholes it and pops it into a box.
I don't think homosexuals would be offended by it, because I think that gay people would want people to feel that they can express themselves in whichever way they want to.
Speaking outside the High Court recently, Mike Davidson from Core Issues Trust said it was important to be able to debate the wider issues surrounding this case.
If we get the recognition that there is a group of people within UK society who chooses to move away from homosexuality, and therefore they are a group, just as we have gay groups in the country. I think that that's an important achievement.
This week we had the privilege of visiting Windmill House, a Christian community that rehabilitates the homeless and long-term unemployed. The centre is part of a ministry called Betel UK, run by WEC International. Here's their inspiring story.
My family and I left the United States after a decade or so of career, and we wanted to help needy people on the streets of Europe. We began in Madrid, and after 5 years helping people with alcohol and long-term drug problems in their families, the door was open to start here in the UK. And so it was actually the Cadburys and some sympathetic Christians who offered us this residence. And 17 years ago, we came to transfer and transplant what we had done in Spain successfully, hoping to do the same in the UK. In essence, how we help people begin to recognize their own need for change and what steps they can take to change. It's the gospel, very simply presented from beginning to end. Simple Christian community where people live, they work, and through their Christian values, faith in God, and relationships built here, they begin to work out the issues in their lives and from their past lives, and begin to see hope, begin to see a future. And it's all through understanding the Scriptures, and the day-to-day discipleship occurs in the workplace. So on a day-to-day basis, they learn to work, and they learn to work out the issues of their hearts and begin to develop a new lifestyle.
From when I was 19 till I was 30, I was totally addicted and dependent on heroin for all those years, and I did everything that I said I wouldn't do. I became a prolific shoplifter. I have 107 shoplifting charges on record. I became a prostitute on many of the streets of the UK. I worked in brothels.